Oh, we're here. Welcome to the program. It is Out of Bounds with Johnny B. That is me. Hello. I believe this is show number 3. Trying to get the hang of this thing, this live stream. Follow me, interact with me on social media. Let's get that out of the way right now, shall we? On Twitter, at Johnny B Comedy. Instagram, Johnny B Tampa. And Johnny B Tampa on almost everything else. TikTok, yeah, I'm a 14-year-old girl. Follow me on TikTok. I like it. Also, phone lines, we have them. They're open. So hop on them. Jump in. Wrong overlay. That's better. 727-592-8518. I want to hop in the chat already. Bucs Invasion crew. Scott is in the house. What's up? Hop on in. We got Facebook in here. We got YouTube in here. I think Periscope is in here. But Periscope's like a senior citizen. Let's get it. What's up, Ben? What's up, Mike? We're going to talk Bucs today like we do on Sunday, 6 o'clock right here on BucsReport.com. Make sure you're checking out the website, BucsReport.com. We have great writers in there, always putting up articles, always talking about the Bucs. Even we're in the biggest lull right now, where we have several weeks before training camp fires back up. We have 80-something days left until our first game. And look, it doesn't seem like that long, but it's an eternity when we're waiting, right? When we're anticipating, just seeing some sort of Buccaneer football action. We had the little mini camps. We get to see Tom Brady out there throwing some passes, and we're just trying to soak up anything we can get. And we have the Lightning entertaining us right now. Tough series right now with the Islanders, tied 2-2. Nobody thought that was going to be an easy series. We got the Rays just slipped out of first place for a half a second. They're battling today. They got the lead for right now in Seattle. They've had a tough weekend out west. So a lot of stuff going on. But we're Bucs fans, and we need it. So we have plenty of distractions. Today's Father's Day. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Whether you wanted to be or not. Sometimes you gotta be. Sometimes you messed up. Okay, let's just be honest. Not all dads deserve praise. Some of you just banged somebody drunk and made a baby, and then you're like, well, shit, I guess we got to take care of this human now, and then you had to step up, and then you became a dad, and that's cool if that happened to you. So I kind of feel like it's most people, but I'm not bragging, but I actually tried to make my son. I could tell you that story if you want. There's my childhood best friend, Billy Queen, in the house, talking about a Bucs fan. Me and this guy, when we were in our college years, we would go to every single training camp at Pepin Rood Stadium, at the old Tampa, University of Tampa Stadium. And when I say every training camp, I mean 3-a-days. Do you remember 3-a-days? Anybody? Okay, yeah, because we went to them out there sweating balls, watching Steve DeBerg, watching all the old schoolers, Broderick Thomas. You remember those guys? Keith McCants. Yeah, Bubba Grimes. We're out there watching these guys sweat 3-a-days back in the old days. So he's in here, man. Sam Forrester, what's up, buddy? Trish, how are you? Trish, this right here, this is me all day long. Waiting to see Dak eat that. Yes. I want to see him eat more than dirt, to be honest with you. Never been a Dak Prescott fan. He's always came off as a little douchey to me. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. He just has douchebag face. Either way, he's a Cowboy. He's got to die on that first game of the year. My man Troy, Eric Rett, yes sir. Reggie Cobb, yeah, we can. All those early '90s, those late '80s training camps, man. We're at all of those, and man, I kind of miss the old Pep and Rude, and then I believe they moved out to Disney for a couple of seasons, and I didn't check any Disney ones out. Sorry, I just wasn't taking that. I wasn't going to make that drive for that one, but yeah, it was great. Chat's already loading up. Look at that. Soda, one of the best hip-hop artists around, baby. Check him out. Go on Spotify. I'm looking him up. Look him up, man. He just dropped some new music. Great hip-hop artist, rapper out of Sarasota. He comes down to Tampa and performs for us sometimes, too. So, yeah. You think I might be your dad? Dude, honestly, if you're like in your 20s, I could very well be your dad. And Troy over here on the chat, he can attest. You know, he met me when I was running the bars back in the day. We both were back when we were young Chads, little young ones, and I was a DJ in a nightclub. So yeah, there could be some fat little kid running around East Tampa right now, 20 years old, wondering why his dad never took care of him. Nobody told me. Okay, sorry. I'm sure you grew up nice in some trailer in Sefner. Sure, everything was fine. You probably graduated at Armwood, the great GPA. All right. If you want to come find me, we can have lunch. Sorry. Phone lines are open if you want to hop on 727-592-8518. Hit the share button. Let everybody know what's going on. Also, I am going to put a link into the chat right now, or I'm sorry, into the stream. If you would like to hop in, I don't care, man. Hop on in, man. I'm going to put it in here right now. Bing, bong, bang, pow. There you go. Look, I want to peel the curtain back. When I joined BucsReport.com, I had some demands. One of them was give me a producer that could run everything while I did it. And they had me one, and then it fell out. And then, you know what? They got real with me. They said, hey, any dummy can run this thing, you know? And I was like, do not talk about my friend Rick Hughes like that. And, after Rick showed me some things, boom, I'm okay. I don't need a producer. This is great. Look at that. I'm hitting buttons and stuff. Yeah, I'm good. This is very mean, Brandon. You didn't know I did run back a long time ago. You know, I played football, okay, here in Tampa. Not professionally. I played high school football, but yes, I used to run a lot. Boom. Look at Ben. It's our time. We're stacked on both sides. Good luck playing with. You're right, Ben. The world knows that, and that's why they hate us now. We are getting Patriot-style hate from fans around the league, and we've only won one, in the last 20 years, but they already hate us because they ain't us. They hate us because we're so stacked, because we got the GOAT Tom Brady, because we whooped up on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I mean, we just annihilated them. I think if we would have barely won that game, people would probably like us more because it would be more of this Cinderella story. It's a better conclusion to the movie that is the 2020 season, to have us just scrape by and just somehow have this glorious ending, this Rudy-like chant through the stadium, and they're moving the cutouts around, pretending like they're chanting with them. But no, it didn't happen that way. Just an absolute ass whooping is what it was. So, yeah. People hate that. Yes, Troy, you're right. We did run them hoes. That's exactly what we did back in the good old days. Hell yeah. Me and Troy were running around when fat dudes were cool still. Hell yeah, it was good times. I thought when Reuben stuttered won American Idol, it was really going to launch fat people into greatness. And then the guy just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. Okay. Where are you at, Reuben? You were supposed to be our guy. You're named after a goddamn sandwich. And you sing like an angel. Come back, Reuben. I want to fly without wings. Hey, Tyler, what's up, dude? Yeah, we're going to do a little thing in this show we always do where it's Ask Johnny Anything. You could ask me anything throughout the show, though. I don't care. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll bullshit it. I don't care. I will try. How you Bucs feel about having the fourth easiest schedule? See, look at this. Prime example, folks. Prime example. Is it really the fourth easiest schedule? I mean, on paper, if you're taking the records from last year, sure. But if you understand how parity in the league works, like teams that were bad last year could very easily be very good this year. Teams that were average last year can be great this year. So you don't know how these teams are until we start playing the game. I mean, last year was a really weird season with COVID protocols, people sitting out all over the place, no fans in the stands. There was a lot of things that made last year a little weird. So if you want to rank teams now, I mean, you can, but we'll find out how teams are playing once they really get to it. I mean, we got teams with, brand new quarterbacks all over the place. We got teams with new coaches all over the place. So, yeah, the strength of schedule, as my buddy Timmy says, it means shit. It means shit. You got to go out and play those games, and you can look at the schedule and look at where they're at right now, as far as their rosters. And do your own ranking. Don't rank from last year. I mean, the Dolphins last year aren't the Dolphins this year. I'm scared of this year's Dolphins. I really am. Like, they keep getting better. They have a good coach. They have a good core of players. And nobody's even looking at them on our schedule. Like, you worried about the Patriots? No, I'm worried about the goddamn Dolphins. Florida's about to come into prominence. And Jacksonville's only on the rise, too. They got that stupid angina coach that does pretty good things in college whenever he wants to coach. They got the number one quarterback. They got a pretty solid defense building. I don't know. I'm not worried about them yet, but I'm worried about the Dolphins. I'm worried about this microphone if I keep hitting it. Okay. My computer just did a weird thing. Look at my boy, Rob. Rob, I got to tell you, he says, who is going to look worse in a single-digit number, Joe Tryon or Leonard Fournette? I think Leonard Fournette looks right. Like, he looks like LSU Leonard Fournette. I have heard people that have been to minicamp say that he looks. I believe I heard. I think it was Lita Kemper over at Joe Bucks fan. I think he said that Leonard Fournette looks smaller with the number 7 on him, which is pretty funny. But I haven't seen it yet. But I mean, whatever, man. I want to get upset over little stuff like that. But, I do kind of agree with Tom Brady. We've talked about this on this stream, actually. When it comes to, switching the numbers on linebackers and defensive backs and stuff, when it comes to assigning, your blocks and stuff, to pick up blitzing linebackers and things, it makes it difficult to identify different players. They all weigh about 225 pounds on defense, unless you're a defensive lineman. So identifying them by number is how, they do a lot of scheming and how they audible to success. So I understand that. But at the same time, it's not like they're only doing it to Tom Brady. Every quarterback's going to have to deal with this, and they're just going to have to adjust. That's how it is whenever they switch a rule. Johnny Dean, what's up, baby? It will seem weird seeing a defensive tackle. I don't think they are allowed to yet, Johnny. If I'm not mistaken, I think the defensive linemen can't wear single digits yet. I might be wrong, but I believe I did read that somewhere. I think they're limiting it to certain players right now that are able to switch their numbers, because I do not want to see a fat ass defensive tackle wearing number 1. That's not going to happen. I remember in 1999, my first wife bought me a Warwick Dunn jersey. It was a beautiful red. I think it was it Puma or Adidas that did Bucs jerseys in 99? I think it was Adidas. But she bought me this Warwick Dunn jersey, and I was fatter then, way fatter then. So I had this 5XL Warwick Dunn jersey. And I looked at her and I said, what are you doing? Don't buy somebody a 5XL jersey of a player that weighs 165 pounds. I look ridiculous. Well, just buy me some Oshkosh Bagosh overalls, okay? And I'll walk around looking like a giant toddler, because that's how I felt with a Warwick Dunn jersey. I immediately took it back and traded it in for a Warren Sapp jersey. At least then it looks like I came from a buffet. I don't look like a complete moron. Who will be the first player to wear a 0? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It'll be some weirdo. Tony Siragusa in an 8 would have been hilarious. I loved Goose when he played. He was one of those guys, just a throwback guy. And when I say throwback, he played in the 90s, but he looked like a guy that played in the 60s or 70s. Just this big, fat, just delicious Italian man. Looked like he was eating, pasta on the sideline. Just a beautiful big boy, just out there clogging up the A gaps and stuff. That's my kind of throwback player, man. That's why I loved William Perry. That's why I wore 72 when I played in high school, because I was playing when he was in the NFL, playing for that Bears defense. And I just loved those big, big dudes that just filled the A gap, your Gilbert Browns and guys like that. I like them. And you still see them in the NFL sometimes. You still see those big old guys getting in there, except now, they look like Vita Vea and they could run, like a 4.6 40, which makes plenty of sense when you're 345 pounds. So, yeah, I love this. I hope everybody at some point watches this stream while they're taking a shit. I mean, it's only right. If you're getting this on your phone, you should be at some point using the restroom, because that's when your phone it's really at its best use. Like, and don't be one of these hypocrites or these liars that say, gross, you're in the bathroom at your phone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Reading the shampoo bottle? You weirdo. You're the weirdo. We're not weird because we're pooping with our phones. You're weird. There. How about that, bitch? Continuing on. Hey, there's Dizzy Dean. Happy Father's Day, buddy. One of the good fathers out there. How you doing, bud? I love the fact that you won't give up that Tom Brady never wore that jersey. Okay? Like, that's fine. If you want to, that's fine. One of these bootleg early Tom Brady pictures. I'm going to send you a good one, buddy. I'm going to have Tom Brady himself send you one. I don't have that kind of control. By the way, a shout out to everybody that was at Al Lang Stadium last night. They had thousands of people at the game last night, the Rowdies game. They have full capacity at Al Lang now. What a ridiculously awesome atmosphere they have at those soccer games. And I said this to the director after I got done singing the national anthem last night. I said, I was more nervous than I was at Raymond James Stadium when I sang the national anthem at Monster Jam. And that was like a bucket list item for, to sing at Raymond James. There's something about that atmosphere. You got the Ralph's mob, there are the hooligans out there and they're beating the drums. I look over one side of the stadium, the sunset is right in there, so picturesque. I turn around the other side, there's the water. And I was just like, this is beautiful. And then right about that time, my buddy Ryan Sudol is the stadium announcer. He used to work over at The Fan, if you remember him, great sports radio guy. He's the voice of the Rowdies. He starts announcing my name, and I'm in the middle of a freak out session. And somehow I pulled it off. But man, if anybody who knows about like singing or, in voice control, if you go back and watch last night's national anthem, you'll see there was some times in there when my breath was way off and I had to like kind of catch my breath in the middle of the song. So I'm critiquing the hell out of it. I got pulled it off, but it was really, really cool. There was so many awesome people that I saw there that knew me from radio and from stand-up comedy and everything. And hopefully sooner or later they'll know me from BucsReport.com. Now that I'm the newest team member. Back over here. Boom, pow. Didn't know if he could, but would love Grant Stewart to wear it. I mean, I would like Grant Stewart just to make the team, to be honest, Teresa. He's Mr. Irrelevant, the last draft pick. Everybody always has that sentimental, there's the, corner of your heart for the last draft pick. No matter what team takes them, you want to see that person succeed. I mean, but if you think about it, isn't that kind of dick to the second to the last draft pick? They're probably not going to make the team either. Nobody cares about that guy. That's kind of weird. I just thought about that. But yeah, I like Grant. He's cool. He's got the neat hair. That's what sucks about being bald, man. People with cool hair they already have a leg up on us. People want them to succeed. People think that they're already better than they are. Would Troy Polamalu be as popular as he is without the hair? No, people would probably overlook that he had Hall of Fame stats. But that hair, man, the hair, it's good. Let's see here. I'm going to go through some more of these. Make sure you hit pound the share button. We do appreciate that. and hop into the stream if you want to. This is the second week in a row I didn't invite a guest because I'm allowing you guys to hop in. But I will say this: I have a lot of plans for this show. I'm building. I didn't just throw everything in all at once. I'm kind of getting my feet under me, getting the hang of it. But I'm working on a lot of audio stuff and some other things for this show. So different benchmarks. It's kind of like I did with my show on 102.5 The Bone. If you're familiar with it, I don't know if you've ever heard 102. It's this boom right there. I mean, if you ever listen to 102.5 The Bone, it's on your FM dial. You can download the Bone app, and it's fun. I do a show. You might want to check it out. 9 o'clock to midnight, Monday through Friday. And although I am handcuffed by the FCC, I do get away with a lot of stuff. I do. So, they haven't gotten rid of me yet. So it'll be nice. See, Teresa listened 14 times last week alone, which is very, very nice of her. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, Monday through Friday, 102.5 The Bone. Look at that. See, I'm even putting up new art and stuff so I can whore myself out. Isn't that great? Yeah, I got all kinds of whoring. Look at this. You want to see me do stand-up? Boom. Check out my schedule. You can book me for a show, johnnybcomedy.com. And look, I even threw a Best of the Bay up there. I've won more than just one Best of the Bay, but I only found one logo, so I threw it up there for you. So check me out. I will be in Anna Maria Island this Friday for stand-up comedy. So come on out to the Freckled Fin Irish Pub, where you can see me say naughty words on stage for about 45 minutes to an hour. I was at Motorworks Brewing in Bradenton last Friday. It was a crazy show. Awesome show. So anybody who came out to that, thank you. Do appreciate that. Back to the chat. Boom. See, this is why I wanted a producer, because I mean, you have to click a lot of buttons, man. You guys think this is easy. It's crazy, man. Johnny Dean's all up in here, man. Look at this. Sorry, taking see, I don't think that would be a good show. All right, yeah. Don't hit the stream if you're on the toilet. I should have specified that earlier. That is important. Chat all you want. You know what I mean? We'll call it taking a chat if you're in the bathroom. You just chat all over my face, okay? But don't hop in the stream in the bathroom. I don't think we want that. All right. I mean, I am planning on eating a Father's Day dinner after this show. I have Uber Eats coming. It's going to be good. We'll see. Let's stop in here. Boom. Rob, I'm glad you asked. Am I planning to hit any road games this year? You have actually inspired me to try to hit a road game this year. Rob Clement here, that is in the chat, huge Bucs fan. Also, fantastic chef, and has a restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I would like to come watch the Bucs play the Carolina Panthers. I believe it's the day after Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, when they play in Charlotte. And I would like to, I talked about this. This is how fat I am. I will schedule a vacation around one meal. So I talked about this with my better half, and I was like, hey, man, we should go Christmas week to North Carolina. Let's spend Christmas in North Carolina. She's like, that's a little random. Why? Spot on impression, by the way. That's her voice. I said, the Bucs are playing the day after Christmas. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, and I said, and my buddy wants to feed me his food, and I would like to do those things. That would be great. So we're talking about it. I would like to. I'd like to check out that stadium too. I haven't been to that one, and also Raymond James Stadium sold out for the year, so it'd probably be cheaper and easier to get a ticket to a Panthers game. I don't know, Rob, if they sell out games there, if they're already sold out. I have no idea. I haven't checked it out. I do want to go to the Atlanta away game. I know there's going to be a lot of tailgating. A lot of Bucs fans are planning on being at that one, so I would like to do that. And obviously the New Orleans away game. I used to go to those every single year. Probably about 7 years in a row, I went to the New Orleans away game. And then last few years. It kind of fell off. So, yeah, I would like to do this. That'd be good. Yeah, see, Teresa saying, come to the ATL for the tailgate. Put on this year by Metro Bucs. Wow. Okay. There's so many Bucs groups. It's awesome. You know, I hang with the Bucs Invasion guys. I think the Loose Cannon guys are doing like a package for Atlanta and everything. So everybody's really, really into it, man. It's really awesome how the Bucs fans kind of come together. And we were strong before the Bucs were good at football. Now we're super strong because everybody's jumping in with us. Panther fans are very loyal until about week 4. Yeah, that's a lot of NFL fan bases. And, you know, the Panthers, I mean, they're still fairly new. They've been in the league, 26 years, something like that. So, yeah, screw them. We're going to beat that ass. We're going to beat that ass real good. I need to hear a rundown all those helmets behind you, Johnny. Okay. All right. So most of them are autographed. We have there's a all white one right back there. The all white one has 3 autographs on it. It has Scotty Miller, Mike Evans, and Cam Brate, I believe, on that one. I have 2 USF helmets up there that don't have autographs. I just, you know, it's alumni, man. My son goes there. I went there. It's our city school. So I got a couple USF helmets on there. I always support USF. The one in the middle, the throwback Bucko Bruce, is my most special one. That is Derek Brooks' autograph. And I bought this off a guy. He had it in his garage. I found it on Marketplace. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get it from him. I didn't get it from Derek Brooks. But the guy didn't really even know what he had. He goes, yeah, I got this in my garage, and it was sealed in plastic. And I think I paid $30 for it. When I took it out of the package, a picture of Derek Brooks signing it falls out the bottom with a letter of authenticity. And I was like, oh my God, I just got this for $30 and I love it. It's great. So it's Derek Brooks. And then the one all the way on the opposite side, the old school, that is actually on the other side of it has the Super Bowl 37 logo. So it's from the first Super Bowl win. It's also a Derek Brooks autograph. And it the other one has a Mike Allstott autograph. So there we go. I got all that. And of course, that big old fat number 99 down there, that's an old Bucks, I don't know, it's a Warren Sapp action figure thing from the Super Bowl year. I got that too. So yeah, I got Allstott. I got all kinds of Allstott. I've hung out with Allstott. He knows me. It's crazy. He's one of those guys, when I met him after doing radio, you know, I walked up and I go, you know, hey, Mike Allstott, I'm Johnny B. And he goes, yeah, I know who you are. And I got teary-eyed. So I used to go watch the Mike Allstott show on 620 a.m. He did a live show at an Applebee's in South Tampa, and I would go every week and just sit in Applebee's and eat French fries and watch him and the big dog do his show live. So, yeah. So, and he didn't know who I was then. I was just a fat dude, you know, so, and I still am, but now he knows who I am, which is great. And I did, you know, some charity events with him and stuff. He might be the, you know, between him and Warwick Dunn, and I'm trying to think who might be the nicest Buccaneers to ever play for the team. It's a toughie. Allstott's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Just super sweetheart of a dude. Yeah, and he's always doing things with this foundation. It's just a super good guy. Look at Raymond over there. Hey, Raymond. What'd you say about me? Can't wait to see a game at Megatron's Butthole. Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, that's good. Is that Atlanta's field? What is that? What stadium is that, Raymond? You're crazy, man. Hit the share button. Keep slapping that on there, man. Probably not going to do a 2-hour show like we've been doing lately. I got food coming, man. I got Daddy's Day meal was bought for me. Sean King. What about Sean King? One of the nicest guys, Ray? Is that what you're saying? Man, should I tell my Sean King story? I got a good one. I have a good Sean King story. We're good now. Like, Sean King and I are friends, but we had a run-in a while back that was pretty interesting. So, all right, I'll tell my Sean King story. This is good. I need some flashback music. Hold on. This will do for now when I do a story from the past. So, some of you guys in my stream here, that sounded weird. Maybe I should reword that. Some of you guys in the chat here, you know that for over 20-something years, I was a poker dealer. Recently retired from poker against my will, but it happened the first of the year I stopped dealing poker. But I did it for over 20 years. A lot of these guys in the chat either currently or used to be poker dealers also, which I'm seeing you guys, which is cool. One of the jobs I had before I burned it to the ground, Sean King used to play in our room all the time. And he was one of those players that would get a little hot-headed and could be, tough to deal with as a dealer. Not me. I've never really had a problem dealing with people. One day he's playing and he's not winning and he's throwing his chips just wildly into the pot. And if you understand poker, you shouldn't splash the pot, right? It's hard to keep track of the chips. We don't know if you bet the right amount. We don't know if the pot's the right amount. It's a pain in the ass. So it's against the rules. So I asked him nicely. I go, hey, man, please don't splash the pot. And then he said to me, why don't you just deal the cards and don't worry about me? And I said, look, I'm just trying to protect you, Sean, because the higher you throw them, the better chance that old man in seat 2 is going to intercept your shit and run it back for 6. And then he's like, oh, what are you, a comedian? Then the lady sitting next to him said, yeah, he's a comedian. And he said, oh, okay, all right, how about this? You got jokes? I got jokes. How about I never tip you? And I said, well, I've been a Bucs fan my whole life, so it wouldn't be the first time you disappointed me, Sean. At that point, he had me call my supervisor. He said, call your supervisor. Not putting up with this. Supervisor comes over. Happens to be a guy that I started dealing with in the poker industry before it was even popular in the late 90s. He comes over and he says, what's the problem, Sean? What's the problem? And he says, your dealer says, if I don't stop throwing my chips up high, this old man's going to pick my shit off and run it back for 6. Then the supervisor laughed in his face. Yeah. And then kind of went from there. I think he said one more thing to me. He said, just shut up and deal. And I said, just throw the ball higher to Bert Emanuel. And then the conversation was over. But, yeah. But I don't dislike Sean. Sean had some good games for the Bucs. He played his ass off. The guy went to Tulane. Like, he played above what his credentials said he should have played. So I wasn't mad. It was Patrick. Yes, it was. It was Patrick Murphy. That was the supervisor. I love him. He's a big, giant, jolly man. And I believe he still might be over at the horse track at Tampa Bay Downs. Let's bring in a legend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him in. You know him. We all know him.
That's Deeds nuts.
What a mercy. I like that name. That's good.
It's my son. He set it up for me. He's like, if you're going to do a show on Father's Day, we've had a great day today. And again, Johnny, like you said, all the dads out there today, happy Father's Day. You don't just got to be Buccaneers fans. Today we'll include Panther fans and Cowboy, any fans, just dads out there, everyone doing it right and holding it down. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. It's a cool day for us. Like, it's one of those weird days, though. It's like you don't want to push the issue because then you sound like every petty woman on Mother's Day, right? You don't want to be that person. So
nuts.
Yeah, but we want to be loved too, man. We like to get presents and stuff.
Yes, sir. No, I was having a very low maintenance day. My wife and my oldest are over at Disney for my oldest turned 20 today, so I had to split this holiday. But I'm like, let's just do Longhorn Steakhouse. It ended up being Harry the Greek came with. We had a great time. It was a party of 10, but came home and I'm like, I got anything in the world to do tonight. And then I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. No, Johnny B's coming on. I'm like, so this is exercising that daddy freedom right now and enjoying this Father's Day. So good to have you on here tonight, brother.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I was actually going to go over to the comedy club And I, almost forgot my own show. I got a buddy of mine that's a comedian from Tampa that's in town, but he's already went out to LA and started blowing up. And he came in for the weekend. He's doing a show tonight at Side Splitters, JB Ball, and the show starts in like 20 minutes. And he got a hold of me. He's like, come out and see me. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And then like hour later, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going to be there.
I got commitments tonight. Oh man, I'm so glad because brother, I got a little something for you there, but let me tell you something. Talking about Sean King, the kid goes right here to Lakewood. My wife actually was in school with Sean. Got a chance to really know him. She was on the PCA side, the artistic side. But What a great kid, phenomenal. Comes out of Tulane, a smoothie king. Comes back here. He's got sausage fingers. He had a hard time sometimes holding on to that wet football. But man, you talk about punching higher than his weight class. He always did it, held it down. And if not for that bullshit call in that championship game in the Trans World Dome against those Rams, they changed that rule. They call it the Bert Emanuel catch. If not for that, and we don't win that game on that catch, but it keeps them going. And that's the way that Tony Dungy led Buccaneer defensively strong team played. Is we always played it to the last minute. And we pulled it out at the end.
Yeah, it was funny. We had that run in, and that was probably, 2004, 2005, when that happened, maybe somewhere around there. So about maybe 5 years later, I see him in another poker room I'm working in, and he sits down and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, the comedian." And I went, "Yeah, what's up, Sean?" And he goes, "Man, I checked on you. You're a real comedian. I talked about you with some of my friends." And he goes, "You got me good, man. You mad at me?" I go, "No, I love you, Sean King. Are you kidding me? I wasn't mad at you that day. I was just having fun. Like, that's what I do. You mess with me, I mess with you, like I'm a ball buster. Like I'm very thick-skinned. So every time I've seen him since then, he's been super cool. I've seen him out, a USF game coaching. I've seen him at a couple Bucs games, and he's always been very good. And we have a lot of mutual friends, so I'm buddies with Ian Beckles, and we've kind of crossed paths like that too. So yeah, he's cool, man. Like I said, I got mad respect. That Monday night game against the Rams where, the lateral play with work done and all that's one of my favorite games ever. So
maybe one of the best. There's so many great plays in Buccaneers history, but really, guys and girls out there, if you don't know off the hand what we're talking about here, that play. And for those of us that watched the game live, it took us right to that emotional moment when that play occurs, and we're realizing we're seeing somewhat the miraculousness we saw in 2020 with Tom Brady and this Buccaneers team that wins Super Bowl 55. But we were seeing this magic, this offensive magic, this improvisation. JB, and being a comedian, you know what I'm talking about. But Sean King gets his tires done over at Harry the Greek's place. Harry the Greek hooks him up and does his tires. So
I'm sorry, did you say Harry the Greek?
Harry the Greek.
Oh, shit. There he is, everybody. What's up, Harry?
What's up, my brother? I knew who you were. We ran in the same circles.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I saw there was a gambler on the site, I'm like, I know him. Yeah, absolutely.
you know Flicker and Tony and Big Stan and everybody else. I knew who you were, bro.
Yeah, man. I've worked in every poker room around. Like I said, I'm on my Burning Bridges tour. I just got fired from Sarasota January 1st.
Yep. You down to Sarasota with the postman and everybody out there.
I was.
I keep trying to tell everybody that you can make a movie about our guys: Flicker, Stan, the Big Store, Bombs, Harry the Greek. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. I mean, Ray's heard some of the stories. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were over at Derby or Tampa?
Working or playing?
Working.
I'll give you my full resume here. So I started at Hard Rock before it was Hard Rock, when it was a bingo
Mikey?
hall. Yeah, when it was a bingo hall back in 98, 99. And then I moved to Vegas for a little while, came back, went to the Hard Rock when it was a Hard Rock, got fired from there in 2004. Went from there to Derby Lane for about 2 years and then quit there, and then went to the horse track for about 2.5, 3 years, quit there, and then went to Sarasota for 12 years, where I just got fired from there at the first of the year. So,
man, let me tell you something, man. We could tell some serious stories.
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
I was lucky to make it 12 years there. I'm like, I don't really take to authority too well. Like I'm a pretty good poker dealer, but I when people start, telling me I can't do things and stuff, and it got down to the point where the way I got fired January 1st was, they tried to force me to work a double shift and miss my radio program that I do at night on the radio. And I was like, look, man, I've been here 14 hours. I got to go do my radio show. So I took a sick day that I actually had to give, and then I got fired. So up yours, man. No, it's fine. Like there's other jobs, man. I'll deal a home game in the back of a damn pool hall in Osceola. I don't care. Let's go.
I remember back in the 90s, we were playing off of Drew Street by Belcher in a backyard up in there. And
I know the game. Yes.
There was one particular World Series poker champion winner that actually was at that game. And Stan and I, there was a day that Flicker was there. You do know who Flicker is, correct?
Yeah, he flicks the pencil. That's why he's got the name, the weirdo.
Flicker. Actually, that's right. Exactly, a weirdo. But anyway, we'll leave his initials as CM. Went through about 40 dimes to two of us. Went down in the course of 1 hour.
Hey.
You remember Adriana, the poker dealer?
Oh yeah. She's a friend of mine. Yeah.
Great girl. Yeah, she had a good time with that night too, man. She's an awesome poker player. Awesome.
Yeah. We really do run in the same circles. I know all these guys, and it's funny when when I was talking about Sean King, the first time I saw him after our little run in was at a Bucs game.
Who hasn't had a run-in with Sean? Stop it.
But yeah, exactly. But he was actually with a couple of pro poker players that day when I saw him. So I was like, oh, look at that, man. He's still running around in poker circles. That's good though. So yeah, it's a weird kind of world, the gambling side of things. Like it's got a really cool kind of fraternity about it. But then there's like this weird underbelly of it too. So it's like, oh boy, you got to be. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because this will keep with the theme we've had here on Bucs Report all week. Thank you. Harry and I started it on Wednesday night with the over-under. I carried it over on Friday night with a little cup of Ray after dark. Let's talk about this. In the CBA in 2020, the NFL, the owners and the players, they agreed to put that language in there that states any funds derived from sportsbook, including slot machines at locations inside of NFL stadiums, will be split 50-50. What are your feelings on possibility of a sports books being inside the stadium someday?
Oh, it's inevitable, man. Like if you've looked, a lot of the stadiums are already being set up that way. The Raiders stadium, they already have it set up in their club seats where they have betting pads right there on the seats where you can bet on every single play. And before, the reason why they avoided gambling and the reason why they avoided Vegas having a pro franchise, because they were so anti-gambling. Now they start making, partnerships with FanDuel and DraftKings and everything else. And the world is completely flipped when it comes to that. Now they're going to start embracing that dollar because they got tired of seeing that money go offshore, got tired of seeing that money stay in one city or two cities. And the NFL, it's about money, so they don't want people, taking a piece of the pie that they can be taking most of the pieces of. So yeah, I think before, within 10 years, it's going to be so normal to sit down in every seat in every stadium, not just the NFL, and bet on everything from what the next play is going to be to what color socks these guys are wearing. I mean, you'll be able to bet on all that. So, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Harry, then, because I think Johnny's hitting something here. And JB, this is the first time I've really thought about it this way, because Harry and I have talked about it, and we always separation of church and state. And if my grandfather if my grandfather woke up tomorrow, first of all, he's been in the ground for 20 years, so that'd be kind of weird. But he would roll over in this grave if he knew that the NFL was actually putting sports books in stadiums because of the way the NFL had that stance on gambling forever. And Harry, Johnny makes the point that just tired of seeing the money going elsewhere and not being able to share it. But wouldn't you like to see more of it coming and giving stuff back to the fans, making it more lucrative for us if it is an inevitability?
I'd love to take that question.
Yeah, get him, Harry.
Please.
Everybody knows I'm an advocate for gambling, but you have to separate church from state. Okay, Pete Rose has been a friend of mine for many, many years, as Sean King. And, I like to bust on Sean a lot and a lot of other athletes that I hang around with as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if it wasn't good for Pete Rose, it shouldn't be allowed in the stadiums. Not to say that these players are gambling, but it becomes too easy for them to look up into the 40th row on the first level over at Raymond James Stadiums, and he wipes his eyebrow, hits his chest like, one of those numbers. That means give me 30 dimes and I'm going to get a TD on this drive. Look, man, they need to separate this. These funds, first off, let's go back before there was, when pari-mutuel wagering didn't have ITW where you could bet on Santa Anita here at Tampa, okay? And the lottery came into Florida and they said it was going to go to education. It was going to go to the infrastructure. It was going to take care of all these multi things, that it was going to make the world this much better. The bottom line is this. They allocated $600 million into the school system, which they did because they promised it, but they funneled it out on the backside, as Ray and I were talking about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a bunch of BS the way they do it. The NFL didn't want any part. Goodell didn't want any part of gambling. Going back to 2003 when he turns around and says, no, we're not going to let that 30-second commercial run through during the Super Bowl because we want no affiliation to gambling. In 2017, the tune started to change, but he says, it's still the devil. But in 2020, he says, you know what? There's a spot for gambling in the NFL. Sure there is, because the players, the owners, and everybody that's in management is going to have access to these funds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it on live. Bull, you know what I'm going to say? Bull spit.
No, you can say
shouldn't be
no.
that way.
No, my show's all about shit. Yeah, my show's all about the shit, Harry. Say shit.
Shit.
Yeah,
but no, seriously, man, it can't. This money has to go to where it's needed. Okay, this is a non-tax state. Turn around and go ahead and put it into the infrastructure. Put it into the education without funneling it out the backside.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take care of the people it needs to take care of. And for God's sakes, please don't build a casino on our beaches. Leave them in the pari-mutuel facilities. Put them in the poker rooms and leave them at the damn Hard Rock
Harry for
casinos.
mayor. Harry for mayor.
He's got my vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Johnny, that is really right. Therein lies the point, right? It's not so much that, like you said, Johnny, it's an inevitability. It's coming.
Yeah.
People are doing on their phones, FanDuel daily, but it's like, when are we going to decide as a community and as fans of the NFL? Because, guys, bury the lead. If the NFL doesn't have us fans, they don't sell advertising, put butts in the stadium, and they just have 11 on 11 playing in front of nobody.
How much more money do they need, Ray? How much more money does the NFL need? Why do they have to have a part in this gambling institution? Because it's billions of dollars.
They need
greed.
You know what they need to be able to have that money, to make that money, to get those players, to get those stats and make and do all those bets? They need a stadium. But who the hell do you think they're going to come at when they want a new billion-dollar stadium when Raymond James is 30 years old in a couple of years? Do you think they're going to go, well, we've been dipping now 50% on the gambling. Let us put the cheese up for that. That's not the way it works, but that's why we're not going to stop the train from rolling here, guys. But I think what we're doing here is we're just conversing on a Sunday afternoon on a Father's Day.
Yeah.
There's something about this that the fans just don't get anything back.
Yeah, and it's true too. Like, and I agree with Harry too about the gambling in the stadiums. I think it's going to happen, but I don't like it either. I don't like it. I don't like anything that could plant the seed of doubt when you're from a fan's perspective. Anytime, and it already happens a lot now, when you see a squirrely call or you see a player, half-ass a play, and you go, what the hell was that? And guys like you and I, Harry, the first thing we think of is, oh, there's a lot of money on this. You can't help but be cynical in that situation. And if you
remember what happened in the NBA, Johnny, just a couple of years ago with the two referees.
And if it's two of them, it's 50 of them. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, man. We don't want to. Don't take that away from us. So the one thing that we want for more than anything with football is for it to be fair. Yeah, we want it to be fair. We don't want to say, could you imagine being a Houston Astros fan right now? Yeah, they're out there rooting for them every day, but in the back of their head, they're like, God, we have a fake championship. That has to feel dirty inside. You know what I mean?
That's just, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. So, yeah, gamble all you want, but I agree, man.
Hey guys, I'll give you an example, Johnny, with Steve Tasker. I had him on again Friday night on Cup of Ray After Dark, brought to you at 11 p.m. here on Bucs Report. This is just promo Sunday for me. But Steve Tasker brings up one play, guys. Super Bowl, Seahawks, Patriots, the ball to 1 yard line, and instead of handing the ball to Marshawn Lynch, they throw it and it ends up being intercepted. And you talk about where if you had the gambling in the stadium and the money was all running one way, and everyone, the first thing you're thinking is either point shaving or throwing that.
There would have been a riot.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
there would have been a riot. You know what? Especially if they said Belichick had money on that play. Okay, I mean, I want you to think about that because that's what's going to happen. I want everybody to go back and think about Pete Rose.
Yeah,
anybody can think whatever they want about the guy. Did he bet on baseball? Yep. I know things about this court proceedings that nobody out there knows, and I'm not going to divulge it, but I'm going to tell you this much: I understand Major League's perspective on him not being in the Hall of Fame. There is a sign in the dugout as you're coming out of the locker rooms into the dugout, and it says one of the rules are no betting on baseball. It's plain as day.
Yeah.
Why is it going to be okay for players? Why is it going to be? Because there's already current players that are playing fantasy. That is just another form of gambling, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It cannot be allowed.
Yeah, you're right. And, people are going to say, well, you can't look at the Pete Rose thing through 2021 lenses and all that. But yeah, you're right. There's a level of hypocrisy there that, I think most people at this point are all chanting for Pete Rose to just put him in, let Pete in. You know what I mean?
They'll put him in when he passes away, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah, exactly.
Posthumously,
Yeah, and everything like what you're saying about him, Harry, I've heard nothing but the same. He's a good guy, and yeah, he knows that he shouldn't have done what he did, but he wasn't betting on his team to lose and all that stuff. It could have been way shadier, and there's a lot of bad stuff that goes on. And I think it's weird that there's people in the Hall of Fame that beat up their wife, but he can't get in because he like put a couple parlays down once in a while. Come on.
You know what? I'll tell you what. There was never a favorite that Pete could go by, and I'm not saying the guy was a saint. Bro, Let me tell you something. He used to shove it in with both hands and both feet. Okay, seriously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That man could throw the greenbacks around like he was flushing toilet paper down a toilet.
Right.
But that still doesn't mean that he didn't get 3,000 hits.
Yeah, he's one of the best to ever play the game. I know.
It's
weird. Yeah,
plain and simple.
It is weird, and he didn't have to pump himself full of steroids to do it either. So, yeah.
Ooh, that was my next one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, you see some of these bobbleheads running around out there. You go, he looks a little different than he used to look, but that's okay. It's fine.
I'm not saying anything, Sammy. I mean,
Sammy. Hey, well, you know what, Harry, you and I talked about this, but Johnny, let me ask you, what do you think about the whole? Okay, so they released the teaser on Monday. It was going to, the barn, the two goats, the daddy or the big goat and the baby goat. What do you think?
Billy Goat.
Wasn't that when it finally comes out on Thursday? Of course, they do the Madden release, and it's Tom Brady and bury the lead, Patrick Mahomes. What are you thinking? I mean, do we even
It's number one in my prep for today's show. If I needed prep, so far I really haven't. But yes,
let's get into this.
I do a thing on my FM radio show, the Johnny B Show. I'm 102.5 The Bone, 9 o'clock to midnight, Monday through Friday. I do a thing on Mondays called a Monday Night Meltdown, and I had a special Friday meltdown because of this Madden cover and because of how everybody talks around the Madden cover. I'm so sick and tired of the baby goat thing. The acronym GOAT is greatest of all time. And you don't give that to somebody when they've been in the league 4 years. You don't give that to somebody when they have one Super Bowl ring. He has the same amount of hardware as Trent Dilfer, the same amount of hardware. Eli Manning has more Super Bowls, man. Nobody's calling him baby goat, even though he kind of looks like a goat. All right. So calm it down. I get so sick of them projections. I saw somebody on NFL Network the other day say, I'm projecting Patrick Mahomes to win 6 to 7 Super Bowls. Are you serious? You know how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl? The guy that said it played in the NFL. Like, you really think, number one, that Kansas City is going to 7 Super Bowls in the next 15 years? Could they? Sure. The likelihood, you want to put some numbers on that? You want to get some odds makers?
Chance.
Right. Yeah, let's get some real odds makers on that one. It's so stupid.
What's my show's name?
Yeah.
The over-under.
Over-under, right.
Over-under.
What is the over-under?
The over-under on that is under, sir. It's
exactly.
Under.
Yes.
Do you guys think for 1 second the Dolphins, the Jets, and the the Bills until recently are going to even compare? And you got Herbert now out in the Chargers. You've got Mike Mayock and John Gruden trying to, I don't know, they're doing some mad science experiment out there. But now you've got the Denver Broncos may have found a quarterback to go with that Big Fangio defense. This is, I mean, just by not even talents between the GOAT and the baby GOAT, but just by the fact that the sheer I couldn't do it. Harry, I'm sitting on this rocking chair I got for Father's Day and it sucks. But anyway, yeah, just the sheer magnitude of difference of the teams they play in the AFC West just makes that an impossibility. I don't care if you got Jesus Christ at quarterback.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. Look at the people that can be considered GOAT status, these people that are up there. And those are the ones I'm mad for, the guys that are being disrespected by having this kid be called a GOAT before they're considered. Aaron Rodgers is playing still, and it's going to take a long time to pass up what he's done. And he's only won one Super Bowl, but he has been consistently great with multiple MVPs. You got, Peyton Manning, John Elway, Joe Montana. We can go down the list of the greatest of all time type of quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for 4 years. Like, he could shatter his femur in a car accident before the season starts. I'm not wishing that upon him. I like watching the kid play. He might be the most talented quarterback playing right now, but you have to go out and earn those kind of statuses. You can't just give this to him. It's so stupid. To me, and I sound like a boomer right now, but to me, it's just like another example of just giving like young people this entitlement without them going out and earning. It's like, hey, you're the greatest of all time, little fella. You don't have to coddle this guy. He's got $500 million in the bank. He owns part of a baseball team. The only thing that he has a problem with is his Muppet voice. And you know what? You give me that much goddamn money and you can rip these golden pipes right out of my throat. So I don't feel bad for him. You don't have to coddle him, the baby GOAT. When I saw that, I was like, just put one player on the Madden cover. Like, I don't give a shit about the Madden cover. Nobody should go out and spend $100 on a video game. I'm going to. I do it every year. I can't help it, right? It's like the new iPhone. I know this thing sucks, but I buy the same damn iPhone every year because they own me. I'm their bitch. But with the Madden cover, I
love this guy.
Why do you have to,
Harry?
Why?
Hey, Johnny, you got to let me finish so real quick. I'm getting you off your rant, brother. But you know what? I just realized by that point that I was making the difference of competition in the AFC West versus the AFC East. I may have been, and there's going to be someone out there's going to say, well, what are you trying to say, that Tom Brady bitch-assed his way into 6 championships? No, I'm not saying that the AFC West was just Tom Brady gets the 6 championships and all the things he did in New England because it was such a weak division. I'm saying the other 3 teams didn't even try for 10 or 15, 20 years because they realized they didn't have a chance.
I mean, maybe either or, but I mean, you hear that, yeah, he had a weak division, but you still got to go through the playoffs. You still got to go through the gauntlet of great teams in the postseason every year. You still have to beat whoever the best NFC team is, and he did that most of the time. But, even so, with that argument, so sorry that he had a good situation and he took advantage of it. There's been teams in history that had good situations and didn't take advantage of it, and quarterbacks that didn't take advantage of it. The point is, maybe Patrick Mahomes ends up being another GOAT. Baby GOAT. First of all, baby GOAT. If I was Patrick Mahomes, you call a grown-ass rich man a baby. It's kind of offensive. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if this guy was a mob boss,
Billy Goat. How do you think that would set with him?
Yeah.
Billy Goat.
Could you imagine if this guy was a mob boss, and he's running a neighborhood in New Jersey, but he's not quite as big as the big boss, in New York, and they go, "We're calling you the baby boss now, boss." He'd be like, "Okay, all right. Well, I just put a brick on your foot, bitch. How about that?" It's so stupid. It's offensive. Like, just shut up with the GOAT talk and don't share a Madden cover because you don't want to hurt baby GOAT's feelings. Like, shut up.
Hey.
I'm not even saying Tom Brady should have been on the cover. All right.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think Tom Brady gives a shit if he's on
don't.
the cover of that. I mean, give me a break.
No,
Okay.
He don't. No, he don't. He don't care.
I'm telling you guys right now, again, Friday night, Steve Glasker and I were talking, and I would have loved, it doesn't go completely with the baby, but Steve threw on there, baby goat and baby goat, just to start a narrative among the best linebackers. And let's go back and just to pay homage to the best linebackers in the history of the National Football League. What about Tom Brady and Devin White, goat and baby goat? And then just try to do a narrative. And Harry and I, you talked about this with me, that we go back and talk about Singletary and all the great, because let's be honest, I'm not saying Devin was a guy who said before he even got drafted, I'm already working on my second contract and bury the lead. The Buccaneers better be working with him on that contract yesterday. So, I mean, something like that even would have gotten played. Because like you said, Johnny, you're going to spend the money anyway because you're gaming it. We're going to spend it and play it.
We don't care.
So why do that? Why even try to play that stupid played out narrative? Nobody's
buying Madden because they like what's on the cover. I bought Madden with Michael Vick on the cover, and I hated Michael Vick in the Atlanta Falcons. It didn't matter. I just wanted to have the updated roster. On my notes here's some of the ideas, and I'm glad you said Devin White, because one of the ones I thought would, if you're going to do a combo, first of all, it should be both players from the Super Bowl champion team every year. I think that's the way to do it. If the Cardinals win the Super Bowl next year, which won't happen, put Kyler Murray on it, even though he has a very, very uncomfortable face to look at. But what I wrote down, what I thought would have been cool, right? Don't even put the quarterback on there. Why not give the defensive love? If you want to put two players on there, you put Devin White and Levante David side by side, or go edge. How pretty would it be to have Shaq and JPP on the cover, or one of those guys, just JPP with his big stupid Ninja Turtle hand flying out of the screen? It'd be perfect.
Johnny,
how about this?
Wait, Harry, wait, first, let me please. How many people that have never bought the game before in the history of the world would buy it if you put Winfield on there throwing deuces? I mean, you got people buying that thing just because it's a collector's edition.
My God, dude, honestly, I finally got my Smack Apparel Deuces throwing up shirt. They sent me the other day, so shout out to them. Thank you very much. And I put it on, and my girlfriend saw it. Now, she doesn't know a lot about sports. She doesn't care, but she does know enough about the Bucs because she's around me. And when she saw that shirt, she busted out laughing. She knew exactly what that moment was because she knew how big it was. And we've talked about how iconic of a moment and how you could not script that moment in a movie to play out as well as it did in the shots that came from it. And like, he owns Tyreek Hill forever.
I'm conflicted because it was taunting 100 days, 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. But it was our boys, so that's a little different. But it was taunting 100%. Tariq was having a bad day. I mean, and they were able to do that. The Bucs were able to shut them down like that. But it was taunting 100%. But iconic moment, probably among the top three moments, maybe top three moments in Buccaneer history. As far
no, Super Bowl history. Find me a bigger moment where he not only he had to get his attention. He had to be like, hey, bro, hey, and he like defeated, turns around on his knees, and he's like, right there, bitch. I mean, you couldn't do it better. It was like like Matt Damon saying, hey, you like apples? Because I got her number. It was that kind of a moment.
The best.
Yes, dude. Like, you could not do it better. And when they threw the flag, everybody in the stadium, I was at the Bucs invasion watch party. Everybody was like, good, we're up by 20 something points. Take the 15. We don't care. I would give him 100 yards and let him shit on his face. How about that? We don't care. That guy did a backflip into our end zone. That guy ran around the sideline pulling a Shannon Sharp. Get him help. Screw that guy. That 15 yards was the best spent 15 yards ever. And what was it, a $15,000 fine or something?
No, but he matched it for just even like $7,800.
Yeah, 70. Yeah,
and gave it to charity, which is just phenomenal.
Beautiful. So I mean, all the things that happened there, it could not be more perfect. And it was one of those games too where everybody thought Kansas City was going to just run away with this thing. And anybody who knew anything about football already had it broke down why they weren't going to run away with it. I talked about it, before, on a couple different shows before the game. And it was so basic, just written in stone. Your offensive line is banged up. Our edge rush is going to chase Patrick Mahomes around. People knew that was going to happen, but somehow, some way, people thought Kansas City was going to kill us, and you saw what happened.
And let me ask you, Harry, I was talking with Steve on Friday night. Guys, this is okay. So we're a month away removed and, rose-colored glasses. I told Steve, I thought we were 2.5 point favorites going in, but he says, no, Harry, what was the line on Super Bowl 55 again at kickoff?
Oh, God, it was ridiculous.
Around there. It was. Steve said that KC was favored by 2 touchdowns at one point.
They were never favored by 2 touchdowns. But since we're going back there, I have to reach over and touch my back and give myself a little pat because I remember doing the pregame show at the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol. I remember all my colleagues that were there doing the watch party, including Ray Kennedy. Everybody was shaking like a whore in church before the game, and it was just horrible. Oh my God, they're playing Kansas City! I can't believe it. And I am sitting back laughing every time I see them have the ball. Ray, you remember we're sitting outside, we're watching it. It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
And then,
well, you told me going in, order whatever I want. It's on you. So I knew you had a plan.
It's over, boys. I mean, this game was over. This game was so over in the second quarter that I was laughing hysterically. And then I knew it was over in the third quarter when you see Tom Brady on the sideline, not sitting with his OC. He was standing on the sideline next to, I think it was Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
Arms are folded. And then you see in the reaction of him doing this. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. And then they're laughing, going, look.
That was the most dominant defensive
That's when I
performance.
knew it was over. Because when you've got Tom Brady staring at the defense going, shit, man, I don't have to throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. He didn't throw for 200 yards. I told you in the second quarter, Ray, that game was over.
Yeah, and you see – I was going to say, you saw the progression leading up to that game, too. Like, they were getting better and better, and the defense was getting better and better. And Devin White took over the New Orleans game. Even Sean Murphy-Bunting was playing out of his mind in the postseason. I mean, everybody was clicking at their top level. And then, what they did to Green Bay, they chased Aaron Rodgers around, made him look like an idiot, made their coach completely forget what he was doing for a living. And then, they steamrolled into the Super Bowl, and then to get told, you guys are underdogs in this game. And my favorite player on the team, by the way, when you saw him pregame, and that guy is number 45, when you saw him pregame, I looked over at 4 or 5 people. I said, we're going to kill these guys. It's not going to be close. And they were like, all right, calm down, Johnny. I go, watch. We're going to kill these guys. And that's what happened.
True. That's true. Hey, Johnny, I got a question for you. Hold on, Ray. Just 1 second. Johnny, I got a question for you. Since I seem to get everybody's dander up a little bit. Who are the Buccaneers playing game 1 this week? Where'd you go, Ray? Where's my buddy Ray?
I don't know. He had to poop or something.
I don't
know. Yeah, go ahead.
Game 1, who are they playing?
The Dallas Cowboys are coming into town. Yeah.
Coming into town.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a 6-point favorite in this game? That's it.
Yeah, no. I think that the last time I looked, it was something like that, which is mind-boggling. But yeah.
Now, hold on. Now let me really get your hair on your ass standing up.
Yeah.
That means if the game was in Dallas, do you realize that Dallas would only be an underdog by maybe 3 points?
Yeah, it's a 3-point swing there for the home team. It should be the Bucs giving 9 if you really think we're a 6-point favorite. But that's fine. I love that. I love it because that's easy money for guys like you and I. So that's fine. I'll take it. Yeah.
Oh, no, I've already touted it. Listen, I mean, give me a break. I mean, Dallas is look. Do they have a good offense? Yes, but they couldn't stop you and me. If I was under center and you were center.
Mm-hmm.
We're beating Dallas's defense. That's
true.
how bad the Cowboys' defense is. That's an embarrassment to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization. You know who's really embarrassment to? To the fan base in Tampa Bay and all the people that likes Tampa Bay throughout North America or even around the world. To be a 6-point favorite, the Super Bowl champions, as dominating as they were in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, and to take a team on that was decimated like they were last year, can't block, can't play defense, because you got Dak Prescott back.
But Harry,
come on.
Harry, they got Micah Parsons.
Oh God, give me a break. Micah Parsons. I like Micah Parsons.
He's a rookie, though. Yeah, how good is a rookie going to be?
I do like Micah Parsons, and Ray and I have had this conversation from.
Wait a minute, what did I miss? What did I miss?
When you and I were talking about Tampa only being a 6-point favorite at home, that means if they were in Dallas, this game would be Tampa only -3. That means Tampa's only better than the Dallas Cowboys by field goal. They're not even going to win their division this year, guys.
No, you're right. I now who do you got winning the division? Because that's
it's a toss up. It's a toss up between the Giants and the Washington football team. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it to the Giants this year. I think their defense is just solid. I think what the general manager and the coaching staff have done with the New York Giants without Saquon Barkley and the makeshift offensive line. They just drafted the kid out of University of Florida. They got Kenny Galladay, the other wide receiver, and you have Saquon Barkley with a stud defense like that.
Now, Harry,
hold on.
I agree.
You're not telling Johnny the whole story now.
Okay, tell me the whole story, Ray.
Because I'm worried about that Dallas Cowboys team who, again, Dak Prescott's on an MVP pace last year, going into week 5, averaging over 500 yards a game before that gruesome ankle injury. And Ezekiel Elliott came to camp this year and, hey, bury the lead. He ain't beat nobody lately, and he might have his head on straight. Now, you put him with the best receiver, maybe the best receiver, and they're young, but one of the best receivers, Amari Cooper, and who's the other, CeeDee Lamb, the best one of the receiving corps. Now, they don't have Witten anymore, but I still think, again, here's the thing, Johnny and Harry, because we've had this talk, Harry. Dan Quinn, Legion of Boom creator out in Seattle, Atlanta Falcons former coach. He's the DC now in Dallas. They give him 7 new toys on that side. Now, here's the only thing I'm worried about. The Buccaneers we have the metal to win this game. There should be no issue. But that defense is literally so young that they don't even know what they don't know. And that's the uncovered integer for me.
You know, you're absolutely correct with that. But the rest of the NFL knows exactly who that defense is. They suck. Period. They suck. They got one defensive player. I didn't know that middle linebacker could cover – oh, no. Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin. Keep going. Please help me, guys, okay?
Okay. Andrew Foubert has my back on this one.
Look, Andrew Foubert, I love you, Andrew Foubert. Do me a favor. When you step up with the big boys, come to the plate understanding something. Bet in the house on the Cowboys. Are you serious?
Andrew was actually he was actually in the queue, and I was about to put him in, and he disappeared. So if you want to pop back on, and we could do this debate on the stream, you could come on back in. But
win the division. Listen,
this will be the first time. Oh, no,
you could take the 4 of us playing offense, and we'll beat Dallas's defense. We'll even put Foubert in there, and we'll let him be the guy that's doing this.
You said Micah
Look,
Parsons.
man,
Micah Parsons,
Ezekiel. Dallas Cowboys beat the Buccaneers if Ezekiel Elliott runs for $175 to 2 1/4 and he gets 3 touchdowns. That means in happening. 1 game, guys, not 10 in 1.
Yeah,
he's got to do that in 1 game.
The Buccaneers defense that made it their God-given, incentive. They've stopped Patrick Mahomes from getting anything there at Raymond James. If that's the defense, and we know it's going to be under Todd Bowles and that team that wants to return and get that second consecutive, that's the defense that shows up at Raymond James on September 9th, that Thursday night. No, I'm not saying Dallas has a chance. What I'm saying is for the NFC East, I think they got a shot to win that division. I just want to make sure the Buccaneers don't look at it in week 2 and go, it was a trap game. Maybe we didn't take it as seriously.
Trap game. Give me a break.
Let's just admit. Sorry, Johnny. Go ahead.
Now, look. Now, the Cowboys could win that division only because that division has every chance to suck again. Like the Giants could completely drop the ball. They could have a couple of key injuries like they've done over the last couple of years. The Eagles, I don't trust them to do anything. I have no idea. They're another kind of unknown. They have a whole new staff. They have a bunch of new players. We don't know what's going to happen with them. And the same thing with the Washington football team. They're a couple of injuries away from being bad. There's a lot of teams like that are teetering on, improving big time, are kind of slipping into that little under average, so
mediocrity and below average.
Yeah. You'll see.
I will tell you this. Washington is probably the biggest up-and-coming team in the East, but I still think they're challenged. They're extremely challenged offensively, and that's why I am taking the Giants versus Dallas. Because, listen, Dallas is going to score 45 points a game. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, just to lose by 2. Okay, if they did have a better draft, or they accumulated some free agent signings on defense, now I would take Dallas seriously. But the reason why everybody and their mother wants to be on top of Dallas is because it's America's team. It's got the hole in the roof because it's God's football team, the whole 9 yards. They haven't won a playoff game since when?
22 years.
Okay, come on, man.
Lord have mercy. All right, let's really get this debate going now, folks. All the way from somewhere outside Canada, like a homeless grizzly bear. Let's bring him in. There you go.
The Red Rocket himself.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, Red Rifle?
Not too much, gentlemen. Just cooking some steaks here. Let me show you some.
Hey, Andrew, happy Father's Day, brother. By the way,
yeah, man.
Happy Father's Day to you guys too.
Happy Father's Day, Andrew. I seen those 2 beautiful kids you have, man. You're a very, very blessed man.
Thank you. You see my fiance too, or we just don't bring that up in the show?
Hey, man, little brother. I'm just being proper. I don't talk about other people's wives.
I appreciate you. Speaking of
I haven't seen her. I would, man. If I saw her,
bro, trust me.
I'd be nice piece of ass, Andrew. I would say it. I don't care. Yeah.
Oh, she's outside now too. She says thank you.
Oh, hey, what's up, girl? Anyway.
Let's get right
into this conversation here quick, just because I got the stakes going on. I figured, I got to get the stakes going before I pop on.
I didn't know that. I did not know that Red Rocket was a Dallas Cowgirl fan.
Oh, hell no. You know me. I don't appreciate the Cowboys. If anything, I would like to see them fail just as much as I'd like to see the Maple Leafs fail until I am, dead and gone on this planet. But you've always said something, Mr. Harry Greek, that, has stuck true to me. You don't bet what your heart says, right? So,
right.
If you're a Bucs fan, you obviously don't want to start betting too crazy. This might be the season where you can drop a couple of dollars and may actually be happy with the returns that you may get later on. Now, with the Cowboy debate, me and you have gone, back and forth, obviously, about the -6, -6.5 on week 1, which I'll just be, for great content and for great fun, I'll still hold to the plus 6.5. I think they can get within it, but they're not beating the Bucs week 1. Now, with them winning the division, me and you are on the same page with the Giants here. The Giants have got one hell of a defense that a lot of people are underrating, and even an offense that a lot of people are underrating. We just got to see what Daniel Jones can obviously do, and if he's the answer. Philadelphia is going to be lucky to get 4 wins. I think we can all agree that. And if Stephen Glasgow was in here, he would be screaming from the rooftops that Ryan Fitzpatrick is not the answer, but I think all 3 of us can really say that at least this year.
Hey, now Fitzpatrick and Humphries, though. Fitzpatrick and Humphries. You got Adam Humphries now reunites with. Now, is he going to be his number 1 receiver? No, but you're still talking Montez Sweat. You're still talking Chase Young. And guys, let's be honest here. The reason why I like the way that Washington team's put together is because Ron Rivera is the puppet master working those strings. But you alluded to it, Andrew. That the offensive side is the side you question with them. So you wonder what they're going to do with that.
You know what?
I'm going to go to my little daughter's little house here, too, so I can just make sure I don't burn in the sun.
You're such an albino. You're such a Canadian, eh?
Adorable.
Canadian.
Listen,
Johnny, he's only got his fighter than you.
The one thing about the Washington football team, we all assume and we all know that they're going to do really good. I think, and this is going to sound weird, but Harry and a few people in the chat will know where I'm coming about this. I think that Dallas will win the division, but I think them and the Washington football team will have the same record. The Washington football team is going to come in to the playoffs this year and have to earn their position just like the Buccaneers did on a 5th seed. Cowboys are going to get like a 3rd or 4th seed with all the attention back on them and Skip Bayless being like, look at my Cowboy. We just don't know what Dak Prescott can do in the playoffs. Dak Prescott has proven that he may just have possibly one of the best offenses assembled, possibly. Not of all time, but for Cowboys history, for Cowboys lore. And that is saying things against Troy Aikman and some of those historic guys. I get it. And I know Ray's already ticked off. You already left.
No, he's got diarrhea. I think he's left like 3 times. It happens.
But when we talk about our Buccaneers, we talk about the depth that the Buccaneers have. Cowboys on the offensive side at least have the same thing. offensive line permitted. They do have a couple holes there that they do need, but they might just be going and drafting all this defensive help to do the mentality of a few teams have done before. If we can keep it close enough, and as long as we have some talent on the defensive side, that defensive talent may be able to make a stop in the fourth quarter, which leads to an extra win in the season.
Where is the defensive talent at, though, Andrew? I'm not trying to debate it, but where is that talent at other than the new middle linebacker that they got? Just please tell me.
See, and that's the thing, is that 2 middle linebackers may actually come into play and make one of those plays later on against it. It may not even be a team that we're thinking like a good team. We're talking about like they could be in a close game with Philadelphia, and all of a sudden they're going in for the win, and Jalen Hurts just tries to do a 10 and in, and he throws it right into Van Esch's hands. The Cowboys are more top heavy. They're definitely not defensive wise going to be that great. I would see them even being 23rd at best. And I think if they can get to the 23rd best defense, they would be freaking popping champagne bottles.
I think it's going to take a half a season, in my opinion, and then I'm going to do this for you. It's going to take about a half a season, maybe a little bit less for Dak Prescott to get his legs up underneath him. After that absolutely gruesome injury that man suffered. He's not battle tested. There's going to be one less game in the preseason, and they sure as hell are not going to let him play that much in the preseason because they just paid him a ton of money.
Guys, wait, hold on. When did this become the NFC East talk show anyway, brother? Johnny, take us back to the Bucs, man. I'm tired of this NFC East bullshit.
Oh, man, I'm soaking this all in because one of the things I'll be doing on this show is as I'm going to be creating some original parody songs for different opponents of the Buccaneers. So I'm actually writing my Cowboys parody right now, and so I'm just soaking this all in. This is great. But everybody's making some solid points. I think the bottom line is with the Cowboys, Harry makes a good point. When you're coming off of a big injury like that, he has to be battle tested because you don't know psychologically. He may not be right for a while when it comes to that, because he's worried about everybody's going to be hitting that ankle. I mean, it blew up, so it's like kind of like Bridgewater when he came back from that horrific injury. He was a little tentative for a while, and he's starting now. He's still not he's regressing.
Right. He's regressing, but
Bridgewater's still not the same. Yeah.
Can we all agree though? Jerry Jones stands by Dak and gives him that $30 million or $30+ million contract this year. He says that we believe in you, and that's the mettle of this kid. That again, buried the lead. That trained under Dan Mullen in college at Mississippi State, was it, or wherever he was? And of course, Dan Mullen's the same guy that developed. Come on, Harry, what the hell are you laughing?
I wanted to say Wisconsin.
I wasn't laughing. I was yawning.
You were yawning at me.
No. The wife is kind of pissing him on, and she wants me to get up and start watching a little bit of TV. So my brother, I had to get on here and be able to say hello to you first.
Thank you, man.
I know you're a comedian, but I got to ask you a question, brother.
Yeah.
Why do Greek boys grow mustaches?
Oh, tell me.
So we can look like our mothers. Talk to you later, brother.
Later, Harry. There you go. Awesome, man. That's great. Boom, out of here.
Johnny, I'll tell you the reason why that joke hits hard, even that joke hits home even harder is that Harry lives across the street from me, Harry the Greek, and I happen to know for a fact his mom's actually over tonight. So that's why man. But that's the kind of guy he is. Hey, anything for the show, brother.
That's great, man. Well, the main point I was going to make about the Cowboys, the reason why I always doubt the Cowboys has nothing to do with Dak Prescott, has nothing to do with the defense. One of you guys just touched on it. Ray, you just said the name. Jerry Jones is why the Cowboys suck, because he can't keep his hands out of his own team, and that's why they haven't won in 25 years. And I'm always going to blame Jerry Jones. The guy has a way of messing up his team. He just does. He sucks.
Any major owner anybody really, who owns something that all of a sudden a major fan base talks about after the glory days and still will like pound that into the ground. That's like Yankees and Maple Leafs and Lakers, before the championships and stuff like that. It's those type of fan bases are going to exist. And when you're an owner of one of those guys, you just suck it in. And this year's our year. My hand doesn't cramp while writing paychecks and stuff.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is just going to do what Jerry Jones does until he dies, and then his son will probably win back-to-backs eventually.
I mean, he had it good at the beginning when he bought the team. He had that little run, with Aikman and Smith and and Irving, and they had a good team, But after the wheels fell off that team, he's never been able to bring them back. He's just never been able to do it, and it comes down to ownership. And you look at teams throughout history, like Daniel Snyder, horrible owner. The Ford family, horrible. They've never done anything so. I'm sorry, and I know for a while the Glazers, they had to figure it out, and they did finally. They finally figured out, probably 10 years ago, hey, we got to spend some money. Then they started spending some money. Then they had to figure out how to spend their money, and then they finally figured out, holy shit, we need a real coach and a real quarterback. We just have to go get it. And when they finally did that, that's when it all started clicking. They found out, you know what, we need a foundation here, and it's not going to be the guy that eats his fingers, and it's not going to be an offensive coordinator, that can't control a team. They finally went out and did what they had to do. But, Jerry Jones, he wants to have his hands in everything, and it's just not working. He needs to get somebody to run the team, somebody with a better haircut than his son. I mean, he's got to do something.
Now, Johnny, you talked about the Glazers. So let's go back to 1995, right? Hugh Culverhouse dies right before the season. And guys and girls, for those of you Buccaneer fans out there that maybe haven't been around and you came on yesterday, doesn't matter. There was actually that last game of that season, 95, that when we played against the Green Bay Packers, we thought that may be the last home, or 94, I'm sorry, the last home football game ever in Tampa, because it was so up in the air. Who was going to buy this team? Then this family, the Glazer family, buys this team, and one of their reasons, one of their claims to fame at the time, or the reason why the media would give you, they came to in all their money was, well, they're very, very good business investors of land. They own these trailer parks, and they make their money. They don't spend lavishly. So, but they come in here, and Malcolm Glazer pretty much, he has a Bruce McKay, a general manager who could build a Super Bowl championship team, and he gets a Tony Dungy to come in here, who should have been a coach way before he came here because he was in Minnesota being wasted. But now they got that taste in 2003. And then what you see now is with Brian and Joel and Darcy Glazer-Kasowitz, you see the fact that they're just like, we're going to do what it takes to get done. We're going to spend this money. And man, have they spent that money good.
Yeah. I mean, that's the key to success, man. You have to, you get what you pay for in so many things in life. And a lot of times it comes with, with football and everything else. I mean, you can look at other, sports and stuff too, LeBron goes to a team, they spend money and bring him all the pieces he needs. They usually do pretty well. You got teams like Boston and in New York and stuff in baseball and LA, the big markets, they spend money. They tend to do pretty well. Every now and then you'll get these small markets that put together something nice like the Rays, and make a nice run. But all in all, and you gotta spend some money. I mean, you gotta spend it the right way. Yeah, Jerry Jones isn't afraid to spend money, but you gotta spend money the right way. You can't have Quincy Carter trying to take your team to the Super Bowl. It's just not going to work out for you.
No, you got to draft it. You got to draft it first.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you have the team, kind of obviously like what the Bucs here did. And I mean, if any miscreants are watching right now, they'll hound me for this. But I mean, the Buccaneers roster here right now was built for a lot of different quarterbacks to come in and be successful. Obviously, no one really thought that if you bring in I won't throw in the one quarterback there, but say you brought in like a Baker Mayfield or a Matt Stafford, maybe not Stafford, but like Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, like those kind of guys, might be thinking playoffs, and then eventually we might build into something in a few years. When you bring the GOAT in, yes, the mentality is we got to win now. And you have fans, say like me, still respectively young, like I'm 30, and I was still very young when the 2002, 2003 season was happening. For me, it just, when you have the roster, you got to go for it. And we brought in the GOAT and we got it. But now obviously we got to look to the future here. This is something that where Brady is 43, 44, right? I mean, he might even play till he's 47 and then call it quits. But is he moving into ownership? How are we going to deal with the financials that come after that? Because we saw what happened in 2003, 2004.
Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on a minute. I just realized. Sorry. Hey, Andrew, I'm so sorry to come. By the way, Andrew, thanks for backing me up with that, with the Cowboys in the East. But I just realized that, because Johnny, I always pride myself on doing my live remote shows and sitting up straight and trying and still letting crazy stuff happen in the background. But because I got this rocking chair for my kids for Father's Day. It's one of those, you can take it to the beach. It's a tailgate tailgate chair, but it rocks. And I just realized that I became that old guy that's just sitting here listening to you guys.
I was enjoying it. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't cut you off, baby.
No, I was waiting for you to offer me a Werther's original. That would have been great.
Yes.
Yeah, like, find me that dish with all that colorful candy that has no name. And
He just starts singing a Bluebell anthem, Bluebell tastes just like the good old days.
Can you
That's
turn
great.
on Golden Girls for me, please?
Hey,
Yeah.
Easy. Golden Girls now, Andrew, really?
Yeah.
Buddy, are you kidding me? I would like the things that I would do to Betty White. Oh my goodness, and Klaus.
You mean Killer? Yeah, that would be great.
I always wanted to climb B. Arthur. Betty White's a sweetie, but I wanted B was my babe. She had that chutzpah. She was going to give it back to you as much as you gave it to her. So I'm sure Johnny would agree with me. She was suspect number one.
Oh man, that show was popular when I was running the bars and staying pretty drunk. I would have had a California grapes orgy with them in a second, man. All I needed was a little bit of Jägermeister and.
Guys, hey, how old are we getting that we're actually doing sexual references toward the Golden Girls? I just realized.
Oh, I can go older than that, babe. We can go back to the 80s, buddy. I'll tell you about my crush on Natalie from Facts of Life if you want me to, and that's not cool.
I danced. Remember Sky Feathers on Ormerton Road? You don't, Johnny, because I'm much older than you, but Sky Feathers was the first dance place we had here in St. Pete and Tampa Bay area, Pinellas County, and I got to dance on the stage with Miss Paula Abdul.
Straight up?
Straight up just came out.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. Paula Abdul, she is literally 3'2". But she's
perfect
every day of the week.
Sounds good. Well, let's move on because I'm about to wrap this show up here in about 10 minutes because I have to do my own Father's Day dinner. I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Fat people got to eat. Yeah, it's crazy. Andrew, I'll let you get back to your family. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you popping in. Steak looks great. Your family looks great. Canada looks okay. Appreciate you, buddy. And tell everybody, when's your next show here on Bucs Report, Andrew?
Right after you, brother. Everybody can come check out the cheap seats here tonight. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's your guys' time. Or wait, no, 6:30 p.m. my time. What the hell? There we go. It's 8:30.
8:30.
There we go. You guys' time. I'll be on, and we're just gonna be talking about your guys' favorite moments of being a Buccaneer fan, favorite moments of all time, and we're gonna talk into a couple of other things and get ready for some other stuff coming down the pipe a few weeks from now.
I like it.
Me on as usual, brother.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great night, man. Enjoy your dinner and enjoy the show tonight.
Yeah, no problem. And Ray, thank you for talking to me as per usual. I'll always have your back until I actually come down there, and then obviously you're on your own.
But bring the package though, Andrew. Bring the package. Okay.
The packages will be already pre-sent, my brothers.
Nice.
Take care, brother.
Later, pal. There you go. There's Andrew. That guy's a nut job. Good Lord have mercy.
Hey, brother, before you get to your comments and get out of here, because you got your Father's Day thing to do, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on here tonight because it gave me, after a great Father's Day, and I hope you had one too as well, and I hope all the fathers out there did, but it gave me the licensing to come on with you and speak some football. So I'm going to jump out of here, let you do this thing, but I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Ray, always a pleasure, man. Hop in every week with me. I love it. It's always good to have you on, buddy.
Anytime, brother. Take care.
Later, pal. There you go. There you go, Tampa Bay Ray. Also, shout out to Harry, man. That was awesome having him on. And, of course, Andrew and everybody in the chat, man. Really do appreciate it. Even my man, Chris, who thinks the Eagles are going all the way. I love it, buddy. I have no problem with people cheering for the team that they love. That is fine. But we're going to have to talk some smack to each other when things pop up. You know what I mean? So be ready for that. And, of course, Chris, echoing my sentiment about Jerry Jones. Sorry, Jerry, you suck. You just suck. I will get to some announcements and roll up out of here. This has been a fun show, man. It's been crazy. It's been a little chaotic. You have 4 guys in a room screaming about stuff. These kind of shows are also very, very fun. I had some things I was going to get to. I will say this. I'm looking to maybe do a Wednesday afternoon this week. So be looking out for that. So follow on all my social media and all that. And that way you'll see when that is popping up. Let me go ahead and boom, pop over here, throw some of this out there. Bam, there's some social media. Look at that. TikTok. I know it's not just for teenage girls shaking their butt. It's for a lot of stuff. I throw comedy clips up there and other things. Johnny B Tampa, Johnny B Comedy. I have 2 accounts. Johnny B Comedy is just stand-up clips. Facebook, you can find me on there, Johnny Bell. I have a few spots left for friends. And of course, the Johnny B Show on Facebook, Instagram, Johnny B Tampa, and the Johnny B Show, and Twitter at Johnny B Comedy. Look for me there. Somehow, some way, they gave me a blue check. I appreciate that. And look at that. 102.5 The Bone, Monday through Friday. Support my show, man. We really do appreciate it. 9 o'clock to midnight. It's me and my co-host, Will Kuntz. And we talk about anything and everything on the show. It's not music. It's all talk. It's as much as you can say on FM radio without getting fired. That's what I do. I don't like that outro. Let's do a different outro. I like this one. Hold on. Yeah, it's got that old school feel. That sounds better. Yeah. And once again, check out my schedule. I do stand-up comedy. I've been doing comedy over 20 years. So come out and see me. I'm headlining shows all over the Bay Area. I book about 90% of my shows are within a 40-minute drive of Tampa. So come on out. I'll be in Anna Maria Island this Friday night at the Freckled Fin Pub, headlining a show there. Killer lineup. Kyle Roos is featuring for me. John Silman is hosting. So it's great. Kyle Roos is a headliner himself. He's just featuring because he's one of my best pals, and he'll be popping in to middle for me. So it's awesome. Also coming up this Sunday, I actually co-host a roast battle league in Tampa Bay with Kyle Roos, and we do it once a month where comics will roast each other and just complete filthy battle. And that happens in St. Pete at the Vortex Arcade and Bar. We'll be doing that Sunday night. It's a free show, 8 o'clock on Sunday the 27th. And a lot of other shows coming up all over the place. Tampa, Lutz, Lakeland. We got shows everywhere. So make sure you check out my schedule on JohnnyBComedy.com. Do appreciate that, man. Come on out. I love hanging out with you guys, having beers, and all that jive. So, yeah, come on out. Do appreciate it. And I think that's about it. Yeah, thank you to Bucs Report. Make sure you're telling everybody I'm on here now, part of this Bucs Report family. Share with everybody, and keep watching all the shows. There's a lot of great streams on here. I know right now it's that weird kind of hibernation stage when it comes to Bucs football, but it's coming back. It'll be here before you know it, and we will have you ready. This show is going to get better and better. I have lots of plans for it, so make sure you stay tuned and keep following me, man. Do appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go. I think have food stuff. So thanks, man. Appreciate you guys. All right, see you later. Bye. Seriously, I'm gonna go. I'll just hit the button in a. All right, I'll just.